and they were still building coaches to LMS designs after nationalisation in British Rail until about 1951. This one ran on the Severn Valley from 1970 till about 1991, when it suffered a vandalism injury and was put to one side, and more vandalism. So we brought it up here after we'd finished some other LMS coaches and started renovation. It's about 2017, about 18 months off because of COVID, and started again. So we started at this end, which is the original end, and restored everything back as it was. But where some material was too rotten, we had to replace it. So this panel is new material, so is this, that's the original door, that's the original corner, that's the original door. So you can't tell the difference because we've stripped the timber back and restored it to its original look to match the new material. One of the features of the LMS was they used to have the toilet floors with terrazzo, so that's marble chips in cement. And when these were being built, they had Italian craftsmen coming over to do the work, but they had to put the coach chassis into a special shed for the craftsmen to work on, and the English weren't allowed to watch. If an English workman walked into the building, it'd all stop work. You're not going to see how we do it.
All trade secrets.
But we managed to find a contractor to come and do this in situ in the coach, who didn't mind being watched. So the original toilet floor broken up because the underneath was a corrugated iron sheet which had got rotten and collapsed. So we made a big metal tray, 1/4 inch thick, which sits on the chassis, so the chassis can twist around underneath it, but the tray will float and so that it won't crack. All of the floor throughout the coach has been renewed up to the end of the corridor. So all the corrugated iron and cork has gone, and we put this buffalo board which has got a waterproof finish top and bottom. People think that a floor only gets wet from one direction, but when you're running you get spray off the wheels, so they can rot from underneath. So this will be future proofed.
I know you've got quite a lot of work still to finish. When do you reckon she'll be back up and running?
I think we'll finish the body by 2026, then it'll go to Kidderminster to have the brakes and bogies done. So that will be about 6 months work.
Away, isn't it?
So the compartments, there's 4 third-class compartments. They're LMS standard, 1934 kind of standard, and they're all ready for the lino, which we've got. But we're waiting for the warmer weather. It's a nightmare to handle if it's cold. You need it soft and floppy. So that'll be going in during June and July. So all the way down this corridor in the compartments will get linoed. But the seats are installed, the original seats are stored at Kidderminster out of the way while we're doing all the building work. They'll get reupholstered right at the end of the project. So that'll be the last thing we put in when everything, all the painting's finished, the welding, the grinding, everything's finished.
So you're very busy with all the engines as well, and the there's quite a few over there.
Yeah, that's other people. I work on the coaches, and that's.
What will happen with the lights? Will you upgrade the lights to LEDs, or will you keep them the way they used to be?
No, well, they work off the same voltage, so we can get LED bulbs. So when at the moment we've got the tungsten bulbs in, because when we're working in the dark evenings, we put the lights on to see what we're doing, and we're using up the old tungsten bulbs. And when it goes into service and it's relying on its batteries, we put LED bulbs in. But the manufacturers, they used to make LEDs which looked like corn on the cob. They were horrible, and we said, can you please make a cover on it? So they now make a cover that looks like a ping pong ball. So it's white. And so they've made that in response to the Heritage Railway saying we don't like the look of it. But the LED lights use so little electricity, it's better for the batteries at the speed we run at. But we won't put them in until it's ready to run, because we're working straight off the mains at the moment.
I'm sure it's going to be lovely when it's finished.
We go down to the end, as you see, we've got components. There's components for the windows in these compartments. As we rebuild the far end, these window frames will go in. Those are out of a 1939 LMS coach. So the same pattern as this, but these are brass, these are aluminium. But when they're painted, you can't tell.
But yeah, it's lovely. This is nice to see the main restaurant.
So beyond my welder, the area that's under the blue sheet is the section of body we're currently rebuilding. We've done the opposite side, so that's now got 2 4-foot windows with a gap back here between them, so it's standard pattern body shell. And that ends to be a bay and a half of open plan seating. We've also got some LMS open third class coaches, so we'll be able to measure the seats and make exact copies of them to go in there. So there'll be a wheelchair toilet, and that will be like the toilet we just looked in, but 3 times the size. But it'll have all the same features: Tracto, pink bed, the green walls, LMS seats, everything. So it'll look like the LMS made it in 1945.
So you bring
I'm waiting to ask a question.